Okay, I'll go ahead and call the Education Committee meeting to order. We do have a set of minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, public comment?
I'm Ken Young, 1221 Shop Springs Road, Watertown. First question I get to is at the end. How bad does it have to get? How bad does it have to get? This is the Education Committee. Does everybody know what's going on at the LaGuardo School? With the issues with the sewer?
Pretty much.
If you don't, I can outline, but the results is bad press for the whole county. The senior leaders, Mr. Luttrell, Mr. Jennings, the entire school board are burning up a lot of time and energy trying to correct something that's terrible that got put on them by the water authority. It's the most visible piece of malfeasance that the water authority has executed. It's not the most expensive, but it's the most visible. So we've got this and many more serious issues, and I want to talk just a minute about a process to get answers. Right now, there haven't been answers. The water authority's basically gone into hiding. I don't know if that's because they're don't want to go on the record for things that they may have to answer for in the future, or what. But they're not showing up at the school board meetings to answer questions. They've been two meetings on this. They haven't shown up. I've been to their meetings and asked questions. They don't have to answer questions. It'd be nice if they would, but they haven't answered a single question. So that's where you come in, and it's the recall process. That's how we get answers to questions. And Mr. Jennings is going to do a little homework and help us through that process. And I came to the Education Committee because of what happened at the school. I'm going to talk at the Budget Committee about the money. So you're the people who are going to have to get accountability. I've been talking about this for a year or so, and now we see the results of non-accountability. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. So at some point in time, and I think it should be your next committee meeting, that there's a motion, a second, to recall the chairman of the board of the water authority. And there's due process, and it's just to get answers. To the mayor's credit, he asked the chairman of the board of the water authority to come and answer questions about a year ago. You may recall that. He came and gave us the history of the water authority. Didn't say a word about governance. And then the executive director talked about some operations. That's not what we're after. That's not what you need to know. It's not what the public deserves to know. And it's sure not what the school needs to know. We need to know a lot. How did the thing happen at LaGuardo? Why was there a $400,000 no-bid contract? Where'd the money go from ARP? There's a lot of serious questions. And I think it could get voted out of this committee. It could get voted out of the Budget Committee. It could come from the floor. But I think it's time. I think it's time. So how bad does it have to get? I'll answer any question.
Thank you. Any other public comment? No other comment? Okay, I'll turn it over to the Director of Schools.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give my report. Start of school year is excellent. Area that we have encountered some issues with the new bus app routing. That's being worked on. I think it will be better within the next few days. It's getting better every day. Just so you know, enrollment as of today is 20,721 students. And are students that are in the seats. That's not no-shows. That's what is accounted for. Of course, that is an increase as we're seeing annually. Busing wise, looks like we're gonna transport about 12,000 students this school year. Staffing is better than it's been. Last count we had, that I had, was approximately 30 certified openings, total 60 total in the entire district, and that number's coming down even this week. We're still getting recommendations on hiring. Really good situation on our staffing. Gardo Elementary opened very smooth, extremely smooth. Been checking that, and traffic pattern looks good, lights out on 109. Of course, the reason for Gardo Elementary is being overcrowding at West Elementary. I know you took a lot of phone calls over that. I don't think you've taken any, because what we did worked. Of course, we did take out 400 some students out of West. We also got the turning lane, and checking that traffic pattern. If there's traffic issues, it's not due to people sitting on the side of the road anymore. It's just normal traffic, so that's been excellent. Update, federal funds have been released. Told you we thought that happened the whole time, that the money was just under review, and that has been released, so it will not be no impact on our budget. As to the sewer situation, we are under pump and haul. I will state that we got meetings scheduled with Wilson Water Authority to look at a contract, and there's ongoing work between Wilson Water Authority, their subcontractor, and TDEC that are involved and on the site. We're looking, I do think there's a resolution sitting out there. There's a pathway for resolution to that, and we are working through that. Just so you'll know, there's been a lot of talk about that. We have a 35,000 gallon tank as of Friday. We checked that. They're monitoring that daily. Only $5,000 5,000 gallons went into that tank on Friday, which I knew would be the case. Everybody was using numbers of 1,000 students. You only have 550. So the system is very safe. There's been no issues. There's been nothing floating down the hallway. There's been no reports of diesel problems. Smooth. I hope you watch some of the video of those kids and parents showing up the first day of the new school in the community. It was an excellent start, and we're proud of it and look forward to continue. We still are working on punch list at that site. The building is in full use except for the gym, and I think it will be just in a few days finishing up putting in the bleachers. Playground side has been down, and all the surface is being put in, and we're in good shape there. And so I was there again today. We'll be there again tomorrow. It's excellent building, and it fit the community needs, and we're excited about that. That is my report, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Do you have any further thoughts about what Ken said? It's to,
We have some meetings scheduled with Wilson Water.
okay.
The issue is not with the school. The issue is not with the school plan. The issue is between Wilson Water Authority and TDEC, and
Right.
agreeing on some things to try to get those subdivisions in compliance, which I think they should be in compliance. I think we all agree upon that. But I kind of feel like we've been caught in the middle of something. But I do think there's scheduled meetings where hopefully we can get some resolution, working with the board on a contract that will offer a permanent solution.
But we're not paying anything though, that's the only thing that I was wondering, though, we're not paying.
Well, we're paying for the pump and haul.
Yeah, so,
That is-
their screw up is that part of it? That's the reason why we're doing pump and haul,
We
so.
have to go pump and haul.
Well, I understand that, but are we gonna get anything back from them?
We're getting Mayor Jennings, and there'll be negotiations on a contract. I can answer that.
Okay.
There are a lot of questions out there, Chris,
Yeah.
and a lot of the things that have been mentioned here today, but as I've said earlier today, my focus, I know the director's focus, and everybody on there, is to get things fixed for that school
Right.
like they planned for. And then after that, whatever y'all wanna do, that's up to y'all, but my focus now is on helping the school system get that. And a lot of people are working on that, a lot of people are working very hard.
We definitely need to get our money back.
Do what?
We definitely need to get our money back.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that go into it.
One more thing too, let me bring up. Past board meeting, did share with our West County Board our summary of our strategic plan. It's up 5 years. I will be presenting that in your packet, in my director's report upcoming. Just want to get on some highlights. We basically have the highest success rate Wilson County Schools in history. And we'll go more into it with full commission. Very proud of the work that's been done in the past 4 or 5 years in Wilson County Schools. Just got some achievement back that don't mean a lot to a lot of people, but you hear a lot about that. Our success rate last year total, that's on every test given for our entire district, we met or exceeded the expectations, 57.2% of our students. To show you how far we came in 2016, it was 41%. There's a lot in this. I encourage you, when you get it in your packet, you need to really go through it and look at it. There's a lot to be proud of, especially when we look at our subgroups. We're moving all students. Tremendous growth. We're excited about that. Proud of our retention rate. Of course, we figured it on level 3 or above teachers. This school year, we've retained 90.3% of those teachers. Show you where we were at on that, 22-23, we're only retaining 81%. That is a direct reflection of increase in pay and our benefit package we offer. There's a lot of information when you get that report. I encourage you to take it and look at it and study it and see the trajectory we're on. And that's where our focus will be. That is our number one focus, is preparing all students to be able to be successful. And that's what our focus is on. But I'll answer any questions.
Have you heard anything from FEMA dollars? I know we're close.
Well, we think we're close. I got an email shared with the mayor this morning. They had not done some things on closing out. Apparently, I really didn't understand all of it, but supposedly that money has been awarded. And we're waiting to drop, and we've got the state and a new person now looking at it to see why that check's not being dropped.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the report. Everybody say aye.
Aye.
That one's gonna agree. All right, budget amendments.
Mr. Sebastian, would you cover our budget amendment?
Of course. Budget Amendment 2026-01. I'll just start from the top down. There's a couple sections to this budget amendment. The first section is just assigning budgets for restricted revenue that we've received in the past. This revenue could have been from donated money, Dell money, like small public grants, things like that. This is just reassigning the budgets to those accounts related to those revenues. The second section of this is just a reallocating funds within one account for academics requests. They just wanted to increase some line items for professional development, a line item for other charges, which is for FormStack service, which is a online platform that teachers use to survey their principals throughout the year. And it also increases money in that line for them to be able to provide lunches and breakfast for principals and AP trainings that we hold at the Administrative and Training Complex. The third line there is just a $1,000 increase in the office equipment line for any office equipment that they may need throughout the year. And what it decreases is just their other charges line. So there's no new expenses, it's just reallocating expenses within one category. The third section there is adding funds for the teacher bonus. This is the one-time teacher bonus related to the Education Freedom Act. This money was received by Wilson County Schools, so they essentially sent $2,000 per teacher. And on top of that, they added, for the employer side of things, Social Security, Medicare, and pensions. So it's at no cost to Wilson County Schools. We're essentially just redistributing the funds through the school system to the teachers.
They're getting the full 2,000?
They are not getting the full 2,000. They're gonna get the 2,000, but they still have to pay their portion of the Social Security, Medicare, retirement, and then they're doing a 22% federal tax rate on that. So they're gonna get
I
$1,329.
thought when the state did that they wanted the teachers to get the full $2,000.
I think there was a misconception or a misunderstanding as far as how it read. They're getting paid $2,000, but they still have to pay the taxes on it. So unfortunately, the net effect of that is gonna be they'll receive $1,329, which is what we.
And because it's a bonus,
Yes.
tax is higher.
Yeah, it's at a 22%.
Yeah.
Motion to approve. Okay, there's a motion and a second. Is there any questions? I have one question. You said it's $2,000 per teacher. So other certified personnel did not get this?
So I may, let me backtrack. It's the teachers that were qualified under the definition of,
They put out rules.
yeah, they put out
Department of
rules.
Education, like your coaches, your instructional coaches got it because they're in the building working with kids. It was those people working with kids. We had an extensive process for us to pull on, and what we sent in met the rules all the time, and I think we're appealing that one.
Correct, yeah.
So it's not just classroom, you have to work with kids, the students,
so
but your administrators do not get it.
Correct. It was based on the definitions provided by state statute, so we uploaded all the data, and then they came back and said, these are the ones that qualify, and all of them except for one. But as Mr. Luttrell stated, we're in the appeal process for that one.
All right. Have a motion and a second to approve. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
I got one question.
Yeah.
How much is ink?
Ink?
Yeah.
A lot.
Who printed this? Make it big.
That's my
Come
phone.
on, Sylvester.
That's why I wear glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even see it with glasses on.
We might have to bring a new copy contract.
Where's Kurt's?
Oh,
Right.
one more thing, the sheet you have to, I'm sorry, we missed out something real important. We need to give you a financial report for the end of the year.
Yes, I'll take care of that. The last few pages in the packet that y'all received there, plus the third one is, I did a year-end summary, and this includes all the school funds. The big one is our Fund 141, which is our general purpose school funds. That's the one that holds your largest budgets. At the end of fiscal year 25, we had if you would call it a profit, I know we're not in business, but for terminology, we had a profit of $3.7 million. That gave us an unassigned fund balance in 141 of $46,300,000. We, at the end of the year, designated $12 million. So our total unassigned fund balance plus our designated fund balance was $58,300,000 for the year. So this other sheet that I gave y'all just kind of spells out what the $12 million that we went ahead and restricted. It's got a couple of different projects that we'll be working on throughout the year. Including things from like roof repairs, HVAC, which during the summer, that gets really busy. We've got some items in there for technology also, Chromebooks. Those things are always going out. They're like on about 3-year life on those. So we went ahead and restricted $12 million of that. The other funds are listed on here. As you're looking through, if you have any specific questions about those funds, I'll be more than glad to answer those. Like I said, the biggest one is the Fund 141, because that's our general operating fund at the school level.
Was the lightning strike at Green Hill High School covered by insurance, or is that part all of
They
it?
turned in.
Okay.
Yeah, I do high school too.
Oh, did it? I hadn't heard that part.
Well, we get to this case. Also, and you're gonna see on that fund balance, I'm gonna ask Ed to explain what the Blue Book recommends for percentage of fund balance. I think that's important.
So the GFOA puts out a blue book. GFOA is the Governmental Finance Officers Association. In the blue book, and it's heavily referenced even with their auditors at the comptroller's office, they recommend a minimum of 2 months worth of unassigned fund balance. So if we take into account my entire expenditures for fiscal year 26 out of 141, it's to the tune of about $18 to $20 million per month in my expenses. So the unassigned fund balance we have there is right at about 2 months worth of expenses. So while that amount may seem large, if there's a natural disaster, kind of like the tornado happened a few years ago, this fund balance allowed us to continue to operate without having to ask for money. So while that's looks like a large number. It's really just about 2 months worth of our expenses. And that's just for the general purpose school fund also. That doesn't include all the other funds that we have to have expenses for, so.
Is there any other business needs to come before the education committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Y'all be careful